Welcome to the Fortress of Silence.
Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia opened in 1829, designed to be the most advanced prison of its era. Architect John Haviland implemented the separate system, isolating inmates to reform the mind through reflection. At its peak, over 1,500 prisoners were confined here, including infamous criminals like bank robber Willie Sutton. The prison's thick stone walls and solitary cells were meant to prevent communication, but many inmates' mental health deteriorated rapidly. Guards enforced strict routines. Punishments for minor infractions were severe, including prolonged isolation in deeper, darker cells. By the 1920s, Eastern State became notorious for psychological torment rather than rehabilitation. Among its most famous inmates was Al Capone, who served time in relative comfort compared to others. Yet he witnessed the harsh realities of the penitentiary. Capone's presence added tension. Stories tell of his influence and occasional clashes with both prisoners and guards. Solitary confinement and harsh discipline led to riots and escape attempts, many ending tragically. The prison closed in 1971, leaving behind a decaying, abandoned structure that echoes with history. Visitors today walk through long corridors lined with crumbling stone and rusted metal doors. Shadows stretch across damp floors, and the silence speaks of decades of suffering and despair. By the late 20th century, reports of strange sounds and unexplained cold drafts began circulating. Footsteps echo where no one walks, and doors sometimes creak open on their own. Faint whispers and murmurs are often heard near solitary cells, especially in the deeper halls. The penitentiary seems to remember every cry and plea, every story of regret and fleeting hope. Ghostly figures have been reported at windows and in shadows, fleeting glimpses that vanish when approached. Al Capone's cell is a point of fascination. Visitors report a sense of weight, as if the room itself remembers his presence. Rusting iron gates and heavy doors seem to guard secrets of the past. The infamous death masks and solitary confinement cells reveal the cruelty embedded in the prison's design. The penitentiary's eerie atmosphere intensifies at night, with fog creeping through hallways and shafts of moonlight illuminating the stone. Visitors often feel watched, the shadows twisting in corners, hallways stretching beyond perception. Chains clink, doors groan, and sometimes a whisper carries the words of someone long gone. Eastern State Penitentiary is not just a building. It's a lingering presence, alive with history and restless spirits. Tonight, as you walk these halls, remember the lives contained here, and beware. Some stories never leave this place. Tonight, as you step inside Eastern State Penitentiary, you walk into history, and perhaps something else is watching too. Subscribe